Okay, guys, here is your DM. I'm a DM now what call because most of you are brand new DMs, and this is more of a call to propel you to area. I obviously I started this business, and Erin, who is our special guest, welcome Erin. She poured into us, and she always told us like DM is just like a blip. Like you're just gonna stop there for a brief time, and you're gonna go area. So that's like the goal tonight. I know you guys are like, are you kidding me? I just got to district. But go to area right away because you're going to use this momentum that you got to district. Don't take a break, because if you take a break, you're going to have to get the freaking momentum ball rolling. Like use the momentum that got you to district to just go whoop, up to area. Your paycheck, I mean, that's like your comma paycheck plus. So we have our special guest Erin on tonight. She's going to pour into you and answer questions, and that's what really tonight is about, is for you guys to ask questions. Okay, like what did it really look like for you? Laura couldn't be on tonight. She's one of our area managers. She's out of Discover Arbonne, but Katie and Jamie are on, which is super awesome because they're brand new brand new areas. They just went through what you guys are going to go through, so they're going to give you the real stuff. And I'm not going to get honestly into the nuts and bolts of it because you guys watched or listened to that call by Linda Parker, which is phenomenal. But some points I think to take away was her top 3 things. Like, and this is kind of my call to action, is 5 people to bring into the business. Ask them tomorrow because it's late now. But ask your 5 people tomorrow, and if you need verbiage, go back and listen to that call or work with your coach and mentor and be like, help, I'm reaching out to my best friend Sally and I don't know what to say to her. They will help you. Activity, she really talked about doing 8 of your own, like 8 of your own parties, 8 of your own one-on-ones. She talked about makeup. Don't worry, I mean, I don't care what you do for your one-on-one. You could do some value added, like for your existing preferred clients. Like, I want to introduce you to the wellness. I'm going to come over. I want to introduce you to the makeup. But a lot of you are so new in this business, you haven't even asked the people you want to be on your team yet. So just go ask those 8. So really it's just the activity piece, the 8 parties, 8 one-on-ones. So she just literally is like sponsoring activity. Those are the only things you need to be worried about. I love that she said be attached to the activity and the rest will come. But I'm going to have Katie and Erin and Jamie kind of weigh in here. This is probably what I've seen the shift in our team right now with why so many people are promoting to district and area is we're raising the bar. So it's no longer, oh, you're going to get to district in like 6 or 7 months. It's you're going to get to district. So this is what I want you guys to do, because people are going to be joining your team, is raise the bar with them. Say, we're going to get you, to district in your first month with 6,000. Worst case scenario, we'll finish it in 2. You guys know the worst case scenario is they'll finish in 3, and that's still fabulous. That's still really fast. Give them that big vision, raise the bar, and say, like, at district, that's where you're going to get a pay raise. Help your teams get into activity. So remember, they're new. They have no clue what they're doing. So don't hesitate for 1 second to be at their one-on-ones, be their third party, to be at their launches and parties, to get together with them and either over Zoom or if they're local to you, to get together and make asks together. I mean, that's the fun part, the community of the business. Like, make sure your team is a community. Create that community within your team. And just know all of you are districts, obviously, because you're on this call. I think about half of us are executive district managers. So you have either promoted a district manager, or you're like this close to promoting one. But that's what I would say is first step to going area. Work on getting another district manager on your team, because I look at Katie and Jamie. Jamie promoted to area, or went into qual for area the same month she promoted Katie to district. Katie went into qual for area the same month she promoted Abby to district. Like, they go hand in hand. So that's where it's like, get your EDM, your executive district manager. It just means you promoted a district. Like, Nikki will promote a district this month. Alyssa will promote a district this month. Kate will. Like, that's getting you to area, is making sure you have at least one district under you, it just creates a solid area. It's like that easy flow. So those were the only points I wanted to talk about. Erin, I'll kind of let you wrap it up because you're the big vision girl. But Katie, anything you wanted to add, or Jamie? And literally just start firing away questions, guys.
I guess my thing I would just say is, if you, like, obviously you guys are district, but if you went district by yourself, that's awesome. But now's the time where you got to start building your team, because you can't go area without a team. So I would just say the sooner you can do that, and like Megan said, the sooner you can ask those 5 people to join your team, the faster you'll go area. So I would just start building for sure.
I kind of had 4 points that I was going to just share really quick. One, I put down ask everyone. Like, seriously, when I started and did district manager, I was like, I'm just going to ask these 100, these 200 people, whatever. And now I'm like, I need to ask everyone. Like, why not? Like, I'm now even like asking a lot of men on Facebook as well that I know, not just creepy stranger men. But like going through my friend list, because before I was just skipping over them. I'm like, oh, he's a guy. Nope, not gonna ask him. I'm like, I have shampoo. Thomas is using, like, I should at least share with him. Maybe I won't ask him for a party, but I'll, hey, I know you're already buying these things, just so you know I sell them. Ask everyone. The worst thing they're gonna say is no thanks, and they're not gonna be mean about it. And then with that, ask everyone. I don't know what book it is because I feel like I've read 3 books in the last week because all I do is hold a baby. But they had a line in there that said, get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's what this is. Like district manager is super maintainable, just doing your thing. Not, and I don't want to say hobby because it takes work to get to district, but you can be comfortable as a district. You've got to get out of your comfort zone, especially to be an area and ask people, and like to ask everyone. You have to open your mouth. You have to say, my business this and my business that. I think I've joked with Katie and Nikki before, like, I used to say, like, I'm a teacher and on the side I do my Arbonne business. It needs to be flipped. Like, I'm a full-time Arbonne consultant. Oh, and I teach full-time as well. Like, it needs to be, you need to be passionate about it and open up your mouth. And the more you're uncomfortable, the easier it's going to get. Like, I asked a stranger today, I was telling Nikki, or I think I told Katie today, I approached a stranger today at Aldi's, and it was the most awkward thing I've ever done in my life. I like shoved my card at her. I don't even know what I said. I was like, and then to like wrap it up, I'm like, oh, by the way, I'm Jamie. And she was like, okay, thanks. Like, she didn't share her name back with me, like clearly did not want to have anything to do with me. So being comfortable, being uncomfortable is, or being comfortable, being uncomfortable is what you need to do. And then the other thing is stay in activity. Don't get comfortable just being a coach, because then you'll find yourself sitting there looking at a blank calendar and like, oh crap, like my team is doing awesome and promoting, AKA like Katie promoted Arbonne. I'm like, well, crap, now I need to like find another Katie and fill that. You need to be still in activity. And then finally, like, pour into your team. And I don't mean that in a selfish way at all, but like pour into them. I just think about like Megan, she was like, I didn't want to share. I don't want to be selfish. It's not a selfish thing at all. You're like pouring into them to build up their business, and you're loving on them. So help coach them, help go to other activities, use your upline as much as you can. If you can't make it to an activity, pick me, like find Katie, like find Megan, like say, I need somebody at this event. Use your upline. And then I would say make them experts as soon as possible, so you can work smarter and not harder. You want them to be very efficient. So even if they want to drag their feet, give them all the tips and the facts and say, okay, good luck then if you want to drag your feet. No, I don't mean it like that. Don't say good luck, but you don't have to keep pouring all of your energy into somebody that wants to go slower. Just say, I coach everybody the same. Here's the tools. You can do what you want with them. And that's how I talked to that lady. I was just like spewing Arbonne all over her, and I was like, oh, okay, I scared her.
Awesome. Okay, Erin's gonna wrap it up, but I want you DMs to like fire away on questions, and we'll kind of field those. And please ask. No question is a stupid question. I bet the person who's above you or below you in this little Zoom Brady Bunch thing is like, thank God Nikki asked that question, because I had that same question and I was too scared to ask it.
Do you want me to wait for questions, Megan? Or do you want me to share? What do you want me to do?
Yeah, maybe wait for questions. Any questions? Otherwise, I'm going to let your treat tonight is Erin Grasty.
Oh, gosh.
Questions? Okay, well, I'll open it up at the end too. And I would say big goal this month, girls, would be go into AM call. There's no reason why you can't. Like Linda Parker said, you do your own. I mean, she like laid it out for you girls, and it could happen 1,000 different ways, but it happens by activity, your own activity, and then sponsoring people, helping them get into activity, and it can happen like that. I look at everyone's number, like everyone jumped from like 4,000 to 10,000 or 6,000 to 10,000. It was like a jump. It wasn't like they were doing 7,000 and then went AM call. Like they jumped like from 4 to 10,000 in 1 month. So know you can do it. Belief has a sound. So you got to believe in your head and heart first that you can do it, because then the activity and the sponsoring will come from that. And I would say worst case scenario, knowing that you're going to hit your AM call with 10,000, you're going to hit your DM bonus, which most of you on this call are new within 6 months. That DM bonus is 5,000 and 150, whatever. It could be PCs or consultants. So it's 5 and 5. You get $300 from Arbonne because you've promoted in the last 6 months, and for everyone else it's $200. But that's still 200 to 300 bucks in your pocket. That's just added bonus. So Erin, take it away.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, I'm so proud of you all. And I love area manager. I love districts too. District's my favorite actually, because we get people there so quickly, and most people are just looking for extra $200, $300, $500, and they're amazed that they can earn it so quickly. But area manager really becomes the real deal for a lot of people. But the biggest thing that I can share with you about area is it's not that big of a deal. Literally write it down. It's not that big of a deal. You can absolutely become an area manager at the end of April, or no, the end of May. If you go into qual in April, you can finish in May. Like truly, it's always one of those things where it is 100% what you put in your head. I mean, that is it. And if you tell yourself, oh my gosh, like there's just no way or whatever, then there's no way. And so that's the first thing, is just know that it's possible. Everything starts with your vision. Everything. You guys, if you don't have vision, it's not going to happen. It's just the way it is. I mean, think of if you start exercising. If you're only thinking about going 1 day a week and you're super proud of yourself because you went 1 day a week, guess what? You're probably not going to go the other 4 or 5 days, right? If you visualize though, like I have to go 5 days, like I have to, and this is the way it's going to feel when I'm done, and this is all I'm going to accomplish the whole 5 days, then you're way more likely to actually get it done. So you need to be super specific with yourself of what you want to accomplish. And just like Megan said, this is not a business where you go from $2,000 1 month and then you do $3,000 the next month and then you do $3,500 the next month. It can go that way, but it can also go this way, where you do $200 1 month, the next month you do $1,000, the next month you do $5,000, the next month you do $11,000, and the next month you do $16,000. And that was me. $200 is what I did for a year and a half, because I placed my own order. So I was like a rockin' Arbonne consultant with my own order. And my husband and I had the same conversation daily. And you guys know the definition of insanity, right? You do the same thing over and over, but you expect a different result. And that was me. I was clinically insane. And so I would say, my husband would say, well, when you start doing Arbonne, and I'd say, well, I'm going to start doing Arbonne. And I said it over and over for a year and a half. And then I went to GTC. And everything shifted on a dime. And you don't have to go to GTC to have everything shift on a dime. You can find things to fill up your cup. But GTC for me was what the shift was. And I went to GTC with $200 the previous month of $200 of volume. I came home with 5 days left, very similar to the way it'll be this year. It was toward the end of the month when we got home. And I did $1,000 to get into qual. The next month I did $5,000. The next month I did $11,000. Next month, $16,000. And boom, I was an area manager. And when people started asking me, what did you do? I'm like, I just talked to people. I mean, just like Jamie said, I just opened my mouth and talked to people. By the way, Jamie, I have had numerous people look at me the way I'm sure that lady looked at you today. It's okay, because you know what? You have to take the good with the bad. With everything in life, you have to take the good with the bad, right? I mean, Jamie has a new baby. She's already realized, oh boy, do you have to take the good with the bad, right? It's just the way it is. You guys, I have 4 kids, and I didn't plan on having 4 kids. We planned on having 2, and here we are with 4 kids, and it's nuts. Life is crazy, but you have to go into it just knowing that it's going to be a little rocky. You got to be a little flexible. You got to you're going to get bumped around, and you got to just come back in like it's going to be okay no matter what. And that's the way this business rolls, is that you're going to get bumped around. You're going to have no's. You're going to have lots of things that are annoying and frustrating, but you're going to have really great things too. Really amazing things that's what holds you on. Like, that's it. When you're like, oh my gosh, I don't think this is ever going to happen. You just hold on to those really good things, because guess what? The next really good thing, it's coming. It's right around the corner. It's coming. It's just a matter of talking to enough people and getting in front of enough people. But here is the key for area. If you want to write down the magic bullet for this, you have to condense your activity. So when people go area manager, and let's say they start April 1st as a brand new consultant, and let's say they promote to area manager December 1st, okay? So the people that they talked to from April 1st to December 1st is the same amount of the people that someone would talk to if they go April 1st to June 1st or July 1st. It's the same amount of people. It's just if you stretch it out longer, it's going to take longer. That's all there is to it. And that's the name of the game in Arbonne. If you condense the amount of people that you want to talk to in a shorter period of time, you're going to promote quick. And that's all it is. So when you start adding team members, I'll give you another huge tip that was a game changer for me. Because just like Katie said, you can go district by yourself. I've had one person in my 9 years that did area qual by herself. She had $10,000 by herself. She sponsored 31 people in 1 month. Not kidding. 31 people. Megan's dying laughing because she's heard this story. It was like a freak of nature. She's one of my very best friends. It was the president of Arbonne called her. I'm not kidding. Like, it was nuts. And then she quit. Well, Erin got bumped up against the wall, right? It just knocked me around a little bit, and I had to come back. It's okay. It's all good. It just wasn't the right time for her. She's a fantastic client and has been for years and years and years, and she's one of my biggest supporters and cheerleaders. But she's the only person I've ever had who did 10,000 in 1 month on her own. She did not have a single business builder on her team. That's not normal. So everyone else is going to have people that join their team. So when you start having people that join your team, here's the thing that you have to really pay attention to. And I've got a gal on my team she'll probably go into qual for area this month. She's a district manager. And she pointed this out to me just a couple of days ago. She has 6 direct legs. 6, right? You would think that would be enough to do 10,000 and to go into qual for area. But she has 1 who's working, and the other 5 are kind of they're kind of dabbling a little bit. And so she said to me, is it okay if I book my calendar solid, like 10 to 12 shows? Because I'm worried that these people are going to come to me and say, I have this booked on this night, or I need your help with the one-on-one or whatever. And she's like, but they're not doing it right now. And so I have to go because I have to keep meeting people so I can get to area, because that's our goal, is to get to area by June 1st. And so I'm like, absolutely, absolutely. You have to book your calendar first. And then another thing you can do with people who join your team is, if you're busy because you're continuing to book your calendar, something you can always do, especially if it's someone local, invite them to come to one of your shows. They can absolutely come and observe and learn and get more confidence. If you're like, I am so sorry, like I literally have one night free in the next 2 weeks or whatever, and they have a show booked and you just cannot be there for them, invite them to come to something that you have. You guys, always an option. Another thing, just be standby on your phone. I can't tell you how many times I haven't been able to be somewhere for some reason, and I'm just standby on my phone, and I just tell them, here's what you tell people when you start Arbonne, or no matter where you are in Arbonne, it doesn't matter where you're at. If you don't know the answer, don't lie. You just say, I am not quite sure. So let me check and I'll get back to you. Or if you're at a show and it's a brand new person and she just does not have anyone with her because you guys are busting at the seams and you're super busy, make sure she knows it's okay. She can say, you know what, let me call my sponsor real fast just to make sure, whatever. And usually it's during checkout time. Usually it's when people are trying to check out, get their orders placed and all that stuff. Okay, so another tip, because when you start sponsoring people and you're building a team, you might be a little like, oh my gosh, you've got 3 people, let's say, on your team, or 4 people on your team, and they're all kind of doing whatever, and you're like, how do I keep this all in check? Something that I started doing several years ago that made a huge, significant difference is, and this is super simple, ask the names of every prospect that your business builder is talking about. Okay? That's super simple. But let's say Kate, I see her right there. So let's say Kate is new to my team. And she's like, okay, well, my best friend from college is going to come and visit this weekend, and I'm going to do a one-on-one with her. And then my neighbor who, blah, blah, whatever, she wants to try the makeup. And then my husband's sister is trying the RE9 right now, whatever. She's interested in 30-day, whatever. Okay, you need to ask, okay, so what's your best friend's name? And write it down. What's your neighbor's name? Write it down. And then you need to jot down some notes. So, the name, best friend, neighbor, write down the name, whatever. And what this does for you guys, is you have a piece of accountability for your new business partners. So I can say, okay, Kate, Melody, your best friend, how did that go with her? Because here's what happens. And I always call it, it's like Arbonne space. Like everything's like floating in Arbonne space. Raise your hand if you guys have ever had this happen. Where you're like, my teacher friend or my, whatever, like she would be amazing at this. Or I know she would love these products. And what happens? They're like floating in Arbonne space, right? And you feel like they're a part of what you're doing, but not really, because you've never even really talked to them about it. And it's the same thing when you're coaching someone. Your team members are going to come with all kinds of names of people. And if you don't write them down and write down the connection, you're going to forget about those people. And then you're not going to be able to follow up with your business builder. And what happens with that is sometimes you'll get business builders who come into your organization and they will have shared something with one of their prospects, but you don't even really know what they've shared. So let's say, for example, they dropped off the RE9 kit, okay? And your business builder's telling you, well, she tried the RE9 kit. Okay, well, is that all we did? Did we do a one-on-one? Did you ask her for a show? Did you ask her to come to an event? Would she be interested in getting on one of our, like the call that Megan did tonight? Okay, so it's way, way easier for you to manage it and to wrap your brain around it all if you have some sort of a system of, these are the people that my business builders are talking to. Now, that being said, just like Jamie pointed out, if you spend all of your time coaching and managing, then you're missing the 8 ball with what you need to be doing with filling up your calendar. And just like I shared with you with my girl who's a district, noticing like they're not moving as fast as I want to move, and that's okay. It's totally okay, but I want to move faster. So I need to fill my calendar so I can get in front of new people, but I still want to be there for my team, and you can do both. That's what we do. I mean, that's what we do all the time. It's the 80-20 rule. 80% of your time needs to be your individual personal activity. 20% needs to be helping your team. Okay. I feel like I just shared a lot, Megan. What else do you want me to share? My dog did stop barking. She's either dead or, you know, the intruder is in, because
He probably took a look at your kids and he was like, I'm getting out of here.
I would. When you have a 14-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old daughter, and then 2 boys in the middle, nah. That's why I'm in the basement, hovered in a corner, and I cannot wait to get to GTC. Oh, it's a good time.
That was perfect, Erin. And now I'm so excited you all got to meet Erin like face to face, and a lot of you will get to meet her at GTC. But any more burning questions that popped up? That was perfect. Melissa has 4 kids, Erin, so she can commiserate. She has 3 boys and a girl.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. I love it, but I will say, you guys, I'm telling you, big vision, big vision with this business, because I used to teach for Waukee schools. I absolutely loved my job. I never could have had 4 kids while teaching for Waukee. I don't know how people do it. I am not capable of doing that. And this business has allowed me to, people still ask me, are you going to go back to teaching? And I'm thinking, if you knew what I got paid with my, like, you would, why in heaven would I go back to teaching when I have all this flexibility of being at home with my kids? And when they get older, you need to be there way more than when they're little, because I'm in the trenches. I'm going into the portals of hell. 14-year-old, and it's just going to be one right after the other. Interesting stat. Erin and Nick are going to have teenagers for 15 solid years. 2033 is when we're done with teenagers. And we're not young chickens. That's the really scary part. But you have to be there for your kids the older they get. Bigger kids breed bigger problems. And I am so thankful that I got over my fears and everything that came along with it, with this business, because I don't ever have to think about, oh my gosh, I need to go get a job, or I need to go, you know, whatever. My husband can never be at any of the ball games, or, you know, it's think big, as big as you can think with this business, because it's there for every single one of you. And if you're going to GTC, you're going to hear that the sky is the limit, and everybody comes from such a big different background. You're going to connect with somebody. And if you're not going to GTC, or even if you are going to GTC, one of the biggest things I can recommend that you do is start reading Ion Arbonne stories. If you guys have not dug into those, and I know things have changed so much since when I started, but the Ion Arbonne stories are really powerful. Or even like the call that Megan just did for Val. She's our like great grandma. Your great grandma. She's my grandma. But you know, listening to people's stories, guys, is really powerful, and it's going to keep you connected to the bigger picture of what this business can do for you. And something that I did way back in the day is I would read the Ion Arbonne stories. And at the end of the stories, people will thank like their team, and they'll kind of categorize them. You know, they'll thank their area managers, and then they'll thank their district managers, and then they'll thank their consultants. And I used to count how many area managers they had, how many district managers they had. And I like averaged it up, and I'm like, oh, so the average regional vice president has about 2 area managers. Some would have 3, 4, 5, but most had about 1 or 2, and like 7 or 8 districts. Okay, Do you think you can find 2 people that want to become an area manager with Arbonne and 7 or 8 who want to become a district? That's a region. I mean, it is, once you visualize it and think about it and see it, it can become your reality. It's really as simple as that. And focus on it. Don't ever let it, sometimes it'll fall back a little bit, and sometimes you'll have to dust off, you know, and push away the clouds that have kind of covered it, but keep it in there. Hold on to it. Don't ever let it go, because that's what's going to get you through.
Awesome. Thank you, Erin.
You're
Now
welcome.
I want to join Arbonne all over again.
Well, you guys are awesome. I'm so proud of you. And Megan is a phenomenal leader, as you know. She's worked her fanny off. And, you know, you guys just need to, you know, really follow Megan, follow Katie, follow Jamie, you know, follow the ones who have done it before you, because if they can do it, you can do it. You absolutely can. And Megan has not had an easy journey. I mean, it has not been easy for her. And she's had a lot of life happen where she's just had to focus on her dream and her goal and her vision. And that's what it takes. And even when you get bumped around, it's, you can't lose. The only way you can is if you quit. I mean, really, that's it. You are going to, you know, you'll tank from time to time. Trust me. I mean, if you ever want to belly up at the bar and take some shots and hear my sob stories of the crap I've had to go through, I'll share it with you if you want to. Right, Megan?
Yep.
But you guys we're doing awesome. Write down your goals, focus on your goals, share your goals with your husbands, your best friends, your family members, share your goals. That's another thing I did is I shared with all my girlfriends. I'm going to be really, really busy, and I'm going to really do this, and I need your support. And that was a hard conversation to have, because that meant I couldn't turn back. Like, there was no going back. Because if I was going to really put myself out there and share that with my loved ones and my friends, then I had to do it. And that's why I did it. And so that's an important step to take, is to really, I told my parents, my siblings, I was like, I'm going to do this. My brother said, oh, you think you're going to get one of those white Mercedes? And he's an awesome guy. Like, he's not a jerk. And I was like, yeah, I am. And he was like, okay. But he was sitting right there at that front table at my car presentation. I mean, it's just, you just have to be a little bold and share with people what you're going to do, because sometimes we kind of hide. We know what our goal is, but we don't want to share it with people, because that makes it real. And that's exactly what you have to do. So I probably kept you girls long enough here. Like I said, the dog hasn't barked in about 15 minutes. So
text us in a couple minutes and make sure you let us know you're alive.
Yeah.
Good times.
Well, thanks for hopping on, everyone. As always, if you have questions or help, I'm ready to go, but help me get a plan in place. Like, literally, text that to your coach and mentor. If you are, like, ready to do this month, text them and say, I'm ready to go, help. And they will get a plan in place, you guys, and we'll get you there. So thank you for your time tonight. Love you all, and I can't wait to see you guys soon.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.